Convincing Idiots is live in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And welcome to the podcast, welcome to the vodcast, welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean.
I'm Brian.
And I am your resident millennial, Nicholas. And we are here for another episode of Convincing Idiots. Hopefully, you already know the drill and you've joined us before and you've already gone to our YouTube and Facebook pages and you have searched for Convincing Idiots and you have liked, you have subscribed. But if you have done that and you don't know where else to find our lovely faces and personalities, you can also go over to Twitter, where we are at Convincing Idiot with no S, just Convincing Idiot 1. We are also on Instagram. That's at Convincing_Idiots. We are on TikTok at Convincing Idiots. We can be reached via email.
Thunder. Are you guys having thunder there?
Just this intro, just the thunderous interruption of my intro that you just did. That's it. That's all. That's the only one I'm experiencing.
I was interrupted by the thunder and storm going on here. So
okay. Well, you know what? If it thunders and it storms like crazy and it knocks your power out, you still have your trusty cell phone. And on that, you can email us. That's at convincingidiots@gmail.com. And hey, while the power's out, and you're lonely and you can't listen to the soft lull of your TV, you can also find us wherever that you listen to podcasts on your smartphone, whether that be Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever. We are there for you to get you through this long, dark, powerless, stormy, scary evening. We are there for you. So you won't be able to ask your home assistant device to play the Convincing Idiots podcast because she's probably plugged into a wall. But when that bitch fires back up, you can ask her to do that, and she will play us for you. So, now that we've gone through all that, oh, that's right, Linktree. We have one of those now. You ever heard of Linktree? Linktree is a place where you can get all the information that I just said, and I don't have to come up with clever ways and storm scenarios and power outages to tell you how to find us. You can just go to Linktree, that's LINKTREE. Google Convincing Idiots Linktree, and it will take you there, and that has all of the links conveniently there for you. So we are once again together this week, gentlemen. Who's my favorite student? Let's see. Dean, what are you up to this week?
Oh, we had a wonderful beer tasting party at my humble abode.
We did. That was nice.
We did. A lot of different beers tasted. A lot of friends laughing. There wasn't that warm, natural, loving laugh that I really dig so much.
Yeah. So something was missing. Definitely a lack of laughter from just a kind of, I don't know, something was different this time around.
Something was.
Yeah.
Brian,
Yes.
did you have fun there?
I had fully intended to attend the affair.
You didn't laugh. You were the one not laughing.
Wait a second.
That's right. So my lovely girlfriend, Allie, was invited to a wedding reception from a very lovely couple. So she worked with this woman at Summit County Health Department years ago, and she's since moved on. But her and her husband got married up in Strongsville, and we went to the wedding reception. So Allie was going to take her daughter, but her daughter could not make it. And she said I could still go to the beer tasting event. And I'm like, that is a lovely thought and sentiment, but I did not want her to go to a wedding reception alone because you just don't know, obviously who's going to be there, what's going on. So I went
what kind of creeps are trying to dance with your girl when you're not there?
Right. That's right. I have enough trouble trying to keep her. I don't need any more of these wedding reception, Anyway, so
you're a good man, Brian. You're a good man.
It was nice. It was nice to meet some of her co-workers, current and prior. Very nice people. So, we were there longer than we anticipated, so we weren't able to swing by. So again, sorry for that. But I think you guys had a great time. And which beer won, Dean?
It was
John brought a beer. It was some
beer.
type of Mardi Gras cake or some type of cake.
Death by King Cake or something like that. Was that Death by King Cake? Was that what it was called?
Yep.
How was that? It looked interesting. The label, at least.
It was very interesting. Yeah.
It was nice and refreshing. Had a nice bunch of flavors to it.
Like cinnamon, orange peel, nutmeg, or something. It was like 4 or 5 different things going on there. I definitely couldn't liken it to any other beer I've ever had prior. It was good,
and it also wasn't thick either. It was a very light, light drinking beer to it. It was good.
Now, if I recall, John brought the last 2 winning beers to your beer tasting event.
Yes. He did.
Yeah.
His head is getting to the size of his beard.
Yes.
At this point.
Yep. Well, he has good beer taste.
I'll tell you what, I give him props. I mean, usually when you go into it with as much confidence and being as cocky as he was, you tend to fumble the ball there. But he took it into another victory. I went beer shopping with him, and the whole time he was he was convinced, even though he didn't even have a beer picked out yet, that whatever he picked would be the one. And I'll be damned, it sure was. So hats off to John. He's back-to-back champs, at least. I don't know if it's 3 in a row, but definitely 2. He's won the last 2 years. I know
definitely that. 2.
Yep.
Good taste in beer, questionable taste in friends.
True.
Yeah. You know. So,
well, you can't have it all. I mean, you know.
Yep. Well, good. Yeah. So we had fun there, and then.
Good.
Yep. So, Nick, how was your weekend beyond the beer tasting?
It was good. Yeah, I went to the beer tasting on Saturday. That was a good time. It was luau themed. Everybody seemed to have a good time with that. Beautiful night. I mean, really, on Saturday here in Northeast Ohio, we lucked out. It was supposed to be stormy, I think, or at least it was good. We were going to get some rain.
It was windy, though.
It was windy, but that was nice. You know, it was so warm outside. But yeah, we really lucked out, and everybody, I think, had a really good time. Saw a lot of good friends there, and everybody had a lot of fun. And then Sunday, the family and I went to, my grandfather is from Germany. He moved here when he was 18 years old. And he's been a member of the Akron German Family Society. It's out in Brimfield. And it's a beautiful park, and Donau Park is what it's called. Beautiful, lots of space, nice little pond in the middle, big gazebo outside, and beautiful indoor space. There's always polka bands playing and playgrounds for the kids, nice soccer fields in the back, the whole 9 yards. Just really, really nice place. And my family's been going out there ever since I can remember. So they still host Oktoberfests and things like that, certain functions. But this weekend was their first opening in over a year. Because of COVID, they were not able to have any functions at all last year. So they had their old European days beer fest out there this weekend. So the family and I went out there with my mom on Sunday, and that was really nice. Good time. Nice being back out there and getting to spend some time with the family, and just kind of always reminds me of my grandparents when I'm out there, because I spent so much time with them there, and so it's a lot of fun.
That's nice. Didn't we go there, Dean? Was that we went to with Jeff?
Yeah, you guys have been there. Yeah, you guys have been there with me. Yep.
Yeah, we were.
We all met out there for Oktoberfest. That's what it was for, I think.
That's right. Yeah, you were there too. That's right. It was a big group of us that day. Yeah, that was fun. We'll have to go back sometime. Yeah. Cool deal. I'm glad you had fun. Nice time. Yeah, and tonight I'm late. Sorry, not that everybody knows who's listening to us, but one of my oldest friends, John Cooper, we did the football podcast with. I've known John since we were boys in grade school. So his older son, who's stationed in Tennessee in the Army, Staff Sergeant in the Army, Staff Sergeant Logan. He's in town with his wife.
That's so,
yeah, I think it's the right hand.
I was just thinking that. I did the wrong one, I think.
Anyway, so give a shout out to it's Foundries. Crap, I'm going to say the wrong name. Give a shout out. I'm getting the wrong name, but it's a Foundry. I'll look it up. I'll announce it later. But out of Medina, so they have like a microbrew, Mad Company microbrew, and good food. Great service. This server tonight, she had a large party. She was on it and did a great job. Great service, and they have like retro video games and duck bowling and tabletop shuffleboard. They actually have an indoor go-kart track even you could do. We didn't do that. Having a couple of beers to steer clear of that. But yeah, just a very cool place. Family oriented.
Reason to do it.
Sure, I guess maybe so. And I guess they it's family oriented. Then after 8 p.m. they don't allow kids in there, so they have a more of an adult atmosphere.
I like
and
that.
The kids aren't hogging all the video games and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't you know that the video games are for adults, kids? Come on, get out of here.
Yeah. So go check them out, and we'll plan on maybe an idiot's evening out there or something like that. So yeah, definitely go check that out.
Nice.
Have any of you guys watched
Foundry Social? Sorry, Dean. Foundry Social.
Okay.
In Medina. Go ahead.
My Sunday consisted of watching the long movie of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quentin Tarantino's latest movie.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen it?
I have seen it. I saw it in the theater.
It was good.
I have not. Is that related to Once Upon a Time in Mexico? Is that a before or after? Or is that not a thing? That's a Johnny Depp movie, right?
Correct. Two different things.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it's kind of the backdrop-esque of the Charles Manson murders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it's like, 3 hours long? It's a long movie, but...
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah, Tarantino sometimes will take, he did, you saw Inglourious Bastards, Nick, perhaps?
Yes, yeah.
So it's like a different fantasy take on, Hitler, that movie, and the Nazis.
Okay. Yeah.
This is sort of a fantasy take on the Manson murder. So the story didn't exactly go as it really went, but it's an interesting take on it. And yeah, just a lot of fun. Very long. Does it need to be that long? No, but it's just, that's Tarantino's style, of course. But
it was good.
Yeah, cool. Yep, excellent. Okay. So what is it that we're doing this evening, Nick?
Well, I am celebrating the upcoming Canada Day week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if is that what you mean? Is that what you're talking about?
I see everything very Canadian that you're wearing, and your background is Canadian flag.
Yes.
If you're just listening to us.
Thursday is my Christmas day. It's Canada Day, so there we go. I'm excited for that. No, tonight we are embarking on the next chat. Oh, well, I should also shout out what is it? Less than 1% of our listenership that is in Canada. So happy Canada Day to everybody out there, and our less than 1% of listenership.
Absolutely happy Canada
Brian,
Day.
did we pop up somewhere? Is our multinational podcast, our global podcast, are we growing? Do we have a new pop up somewhere?
We did actually. So
put
again,
a pin in it.
We don't know if we should actually do that. We don't know when we get a listenership on the app. We use the Anchor app, which is a fantastic app for podcasting, by the way. Very easy to use. We do, we are a paid sponsor of Anchor who, frankly, you sign up for Anchor, that you could be a paid sponsor, which is very nice and convenient, make a couple of bucks, but they give you some nice analytics and everything. It shows you what
that was good, Brian. You should do a commercial for them.
We should do that. Yeah, we should
I'd like that. I'd like to hear that.
But
maybe halfway through the show or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
but they show you what countries that someone has picked up your podcast. Now we don't know if they listen to us for 3 seconds or whatever it is, but it does count as a listen. So yes, to your point, Nick. So we've previously, of course, United States, Germany, Iraq, Egypt, Brazil, Canada, as you said, Netherlands, Singapore, the UK, Spain, South Korea, India, and the latest edition, Ireland.
Ooh, look at that.
So somebody picked this up. So
top of the evening to you in Ireland.
Yes.
Is that what you say? Or is that just a morning thing?
I think it's top of the morning.
Well, I know it is, but I'm saying, would you say top of the evening? If it's early evening, would you be like, hey, good evening, top of the evening to you?
I'm sure people may not care,
Let us know, one person that's listening in Ireland. Right. Please reach out and please let us know.
If anybody is listening to us in these other countries and wishes to, we'd be extra interested to hear from you. Comment, how'd you find us?
Yeah.
Do you even still listen to us? Any suggestions that you have? Are you just listening because you want to hear crazy American pop culture and things? And
my own son stopped listening to us after like 3 episodes. I mean, he was hardcore at the beginning. I don't think he listens anymore.
Yep. So we hope Matt is still hanging in there and Sarah. But
right.
Anyway, it's Ireland, and which of course you guys may or may not remember, but my I was adopted. So Fisher is my adoptive name, right? So that's my actual name on my birth certificate. But my original birth name I learned in finding my adoption records, and I did meet my biological mother, was Hogan, so which is a very Irish name. So my birth name was James Hogan. So Jim Hogan, I could have been. And like I said, Hogan is my biological mother's last name, so I took her name. Like I said, that's definitely an Irish name. So
that definitely would make you a real American, though.
Sure, that's
Brogan.
right.
We can call you Brogan. I like
that. Sure, absolutely.
Brogan.
That's good.
Right. So if my brethren out there in Ireland are still listening, so thank you. Hang in there with us and tell your friends, and you could say technically there's sort of an Irishman on the show. You could sort of say that in some respects, right? So yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So thank you for remembering that, Nick.
See,
so
well, I'm just happy that you said that you have an Irishman, you have a Canadian.
Thank you.
And then you have
you have Irish background too, don't you?
I do, but I like to consider myself like a mutt, so I like to consider myself a full-blooded, 100% insurance-loving American.
Yes, indeed. And who does insurance-loving Americans? What is one of their favorite companies, if not the favorite company?
When an insurance-loving American wants to go out and get the best, the premium, the top-of-the-line insurance, you go to Blake Insurance. Let me tell you, Blake Insurance, oh my God.
Will he insure your guns? No. Insure them guns.
You could call him at 234-571-5359, and he will answer that question, which I cannot. Let me tell you real quick about Blake Insurance. It's an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. I tell you, they offer auto, home, renters, business, or even life insurance. Very important. You see, Erie Insurance is above all else in service. Now, you want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today.
Excellent.
Nice.
God bless America, and God bless Aaron Blake.
That's right.
Brian, if you cross an Irishman, you might need that life insurance.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Right out there.
Brian, I was glad you put those guns down because those arms were fire.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Lethal weapon.
You could say he has firearms.
Ooh. Yes.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yep. All right, that was good. A good lead in for the commercial. They're a good segue for the commercial. So Nick,
very good. Yes.
What is the topic we're doing tonight,
about?
Sir?
Anyway, circling back, we are going to talk about our superhero bracket tonight. That is what we are on. We are now into our. What are these? Would these be conference finals? That's what we have here? We have each side of our bracket is narrowed down to 2 aside. So we are in our conference finals. The winners of these next brackets will be finally, as Dean has long anticipated, we will finally be at the conclusion of this bracket, which started, I believe, in November.
Yep.
Of 1985.
Yeah, that's correct. So interestingly enough,
when we
gentlemen,
started this shit.
Interestingly enough, as luck would have it, we have each side basically has broken down to one side is DC, 2 DC characters. The other side are 2 Marvel characters. So either way, however this shakes out, in the final, we will have DC versus Marvel, winner take all. So very interesting the way that was not planned. It could have actually. I think we had more Marvel characters in the bracket than we did DC. So it's just kind of interesting that that's the way that it went down. And also, just for anyone who has not heard any prior episodes or the breakdown of this, we started with 16 characters and we went with a lot of 16 of the more well-known and popular superheroes. So we didn't go off the board too much, but. Anyway, we are now down to, on the DC side of the bracket, we have Flash versus Martian Manhunter. That is matchup number 1. Waiting for the winner of that on the other side of the bracket will be the winner of Spider-Man versus Doctor Strange. Very interesting.
Okay. You want to start with Marvel or DC?
Let's start on the DC side. Let's work our way with the... I have the physical bracket in front of me, left to right. So we'll go back here.
All right.
So let's give a brief rundown here. I'll give you, and this is not going to be a Statman breakdown, but this is a how we got here. Okay.
Sure.
So the Flash defeated in round 1.
An ill-conceived notion of a bracket.
Hey, I'm pretty sure when we were constructing the bracket, I asked for input, and I got minimal. So we got what we fucking got here. Okay. All right. So the Flash. In round 1, defeated Captain Marvel. He went on to defeat Wonder Woman. So this guy's just going through the female powerhouses here. Like, I mean, I think which both Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel, you could argue very some similarities there as far as powers go and things like that. So,
so what you're saying is he was very quick with the ladies.
He was very quick with the ladies.
It was like Dean in the 90s in Barberton.
That's right.
Yeah.
All I could offer is an apology and a handshake.
So he got here because basically he's so damn fast that he's even though he doesn't possess as many of the abilities that some of these other heroes have. I think what we've been coming down on is that he's just so fast that he's so much faster than everyone else in the field that it would be impossible almost to land any sort of hit on him. So that's how the Flash is here.
And if you haven't, if this is your first time hearing about the brackets, know that how we do this is that it has to be a 2 out of 3. When the 3 of us are voting, it has to be a 2 out of 3 consensus to who wins that fight.
Yes.
So when Nick is telling you about the ridiculousness of who has won in the past, know that not all of us voted for said winner.
Right.
But at least 2 of us did.
That's true. But, and that's true. I know there were some disagreements on the Flash. However, what there is zero disagreement on is his opponent, Martian Manhunter. I think everyone agrees he is the most powerful. He's mopped the floor with Superman in round 1, like no issue. That was a no-brainer. Then he went on to defeat Captain America also. And so now,
look at your camera, Nicholas.
Martian Manhunter basically has
you
all
don't
powers
even know his fucking name.
Some. So
you can't even say his fucking name.
He is the Martian Superman hunter, and he has successfully made his way this far. So we have Martian Manhunter, we have the Flash. Brian, you've been reserved over there. Would maybe not the stat man necessarily, but what say you on these two characters? What are you thinking here? We got super speed. We got the Flash, obviously. Not a ton other than the speed. He's just really, really fast. I mean, certainly he can build up some momentum. He's so fast he can run and turn back time, all that stuff. Martian Manhunter, you name it, he can do it. He basically has every conceivable superpower that you can imagine.
Yeah, he does. So again, he can. Martian Manhunter he could make himself transparent. He can go to where you can't touch him. He can also shift to where he's increasing his mass and he's almost impossible to move. He does have super strength. He does have some speed. The thing about him is, and to me, I was reading some articles on this. You could find every debate out there, every superhero matchup online. You could find stuff out there, and one that struck me, and the source material, it was just some guy, I think, on one of these chat sites or something like that. But it was very interesting. He pointed out that John John's Martian Manhunter is in the DC universe the most powerful telepath, Right?
I'm sorry. He's in DC. He's the most powerful. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Telepath. Did you listen to the rest of the goddamn sentence?
I just heard he was the most powerful in all of DC.
But this was something. If we go back to even like the Superman one, is that we thought, I'm not kidding, that he could use his mind powers, and Superman would be susceptible to that. So that was one advantage that he had when we went through this debate. So I read, again, you trust the super nerds. I don't know an exact comic, descriptions and all that type of stuff, but at least according to this guy, which I tend to believe, he could literally, mind control everybody on the earth at the same time. He's that powerful. Boom. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, the way this guy was describing it, for him, it would come down between. So he's going to think. So if he can get into Flash's head, he would also have a similar advantage, right? However, the Flash would, again, in our rules, that you can plan ahead. So Flash would know, as with Martian Manhunter, that who they're going to be battling. It's not a battle to the death. Flash, we know, is faster than the speed of light. He could travel back in time. He could run so fast. He altered the timeline and so forth. So this guy's debate was, to him, it sort of came down to, can the Flash get to Martian Manhunter and hit him or do some damage before he could even think to. If he's aware the Flash is around, I'm not sure how that works. If he just has to think that I need to empower, try to mind control Flash, and wherever he's at on the planet, which I guess in that description you sort of could. So could Flash get to him quickly enough to stop him from even thinking that way, or could the Flash use his super speed to travel back in time and do some type of damage that way? So that's, in my mind, I'm like, well, it's sort of key, because if you're fighting face to face, Flash is not strong enough unless he could build up enough speed, and punch you with that super punch he has or whatever. But again, John Johns can, if he knows it's coming, which I don't know how, you got to
go right through.
The Flash is so fast, you can go right through him.
Yep.
But I don't know how that he could also do damage to the Flash other than the mind control. So that's seems to be coming back to, the Flash could zip all around him as long as he remains transparent. He won't do any damage. But I don't, can he use his mind control? So that's sort of.
Does the mind control work from any distance, or is it like a Wi-Fi signal? That's what I want to know. You have to be in range of him to be controlled.
At least the way this guy described it, that if he's the most powerful telepath, I think he could just sort of think and do some type of damage from far away. You would think so if he's that powerful, right?
Okay.
So
yeah,
we'd have to look at that. But like I said, that's kind of in my mind where it comes down to is the mind control versus the super speed. At least that argument made sense to me. So that's sort of where I'm. That's a tough one. So
my biggest question.
Go ahead.
Well, my biggest question is what Dean thinks, because Dean hates with a vigor both of these characters after how they got here. He's very upset. So I want to know what Dean thinks. He's got to pick one. He has to pick one. So what does he think? What does he think would happen?
Let me paint you a picture here, if I may.
I'm going to guess there's going to be some anger here, so go ahead, please.
No, there's
going to be. One completely demoralized his idol. So he's going to be upset.
No. Here's the deal. This is how this starts. The bell rings, and before Frank Manhunter tries to do his mind warp shit, the Flash is going to start vibrating, and he's going to go back in time, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to go back in time to where Frank Manhunter and Frank Manhunter's mom, Linda, and his dad, Bill, are fucking, and he's going to stop him. He's going to come up and just yank him off before completion, and Bill's going to fucking come right on Linda's face, and there is little Martian Manhunter streaming down his mom's face, right into her mouth. And then he's going to vibrate again. He's going to go back. Frank Manhunter is no more. Flash wins.
But then, in this alternate reality, in in this time variant, we'll call it.
Okay.
Does another version of him, perhaps one more powerful, perhaps one evil, come along? Or would the
he wasn't invited into this tournament.
Okay. Would the time variant agency, is that what the TVA, is that what they are?
Yeah.
The time would they have something to say about this?
They wouldn't. They wouldn't because it's not the same universe. It's DC and Marvel. So
that is true. Okay. Fair enough.
So this is on Quora, Quora, Quora.com. There's all these debates here. So a couple of these, I'm just kind of leafing through a couple of these here. A couple of these are the same type of stuff. So now this one says the Martian Manhunter could erect a force field of pure psychic power. The Flash couldn't go 10 feet without feeling intense mental pain. Flash can't fly, whereas Martian Manhunter can. Let's see. The second is the fact. Here's the thing. But the second is the fact the Flash is faster than thought. So with the Manhunter's abilities really affect him. It's also theoretically possible to phase on the Flash at a frequency that the waves of psyche would just go right through him. Again, that's one super nerd's opinion, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So like I said, the Flash can get around the mental stuff, then he has a chance. What do you?
Go upstairs. What does Yoshi think? Yoshi thinks something. Go to bed. Go to sleep. I love you. Good night.
Nick, what do you think? Do you have any? Are you leaning either way?
I initially now you threw a wrench in the gears, because my initial thing was yes, okay, Flash beats everybody because he's just, even though these are all superheroes, they all have superhuman speed and abilities. He's so much faster. That is his thing. That even though there's all these other powers that these other heroes possess, he's so much faster than any of them can land anything. However, then I'm thinking Martian Manhunter. How's the way? What way can you possibly beat this guy if you can't lay a hand on him? Well, being able to mentally take over him in that regard would be pretty much the only way to stop him. But if he's faster than thought, that's hard. I think I'm gonna have to say Martian Manhunter. Still, I think maybe, even though let's think of the delay here in the mental capacity, right? Martian Manhunter's
I don't think there is much in this thought process.
Mental capacity is far greater, right? So perhaps even though the Flash is so fast, mentally he may not be as quick to mentally combat Martian Manhunter. So maybe before he even thinks to attack Martian Manhunter, they have time to prepare, right? Are there rules to cheating? What if before they even get near each other to begin battle, it takes is the first strike? And Martian Manhunter is the be-all, end-all of super beings. So why would he not have the jump on him? Even though physically the Flash is faster, if he can strike mentally first, it's over.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Martian Manhunter.
I think mentally you are on strike.
All right. Okay. So we'll let Dean be the tiebreaker here. So I am going to give the edge to, again, the Flash on this one.
Okay.
Because, again, the Flash, you know who you're fighting. As long as the Flash knew where he was, he's just insanely. It's just before he might even know what hit him, what's going on. The Flash could lay a strike on him again, unless he remained in that phased form. I think the Flash might be too quick. And that argument holds some water in being able to phase so quickly, potentially, to not even have his mental powers impact him. So, these are two of the most powerful, DC heroes that there are, it would be a very tough battle, I think, for either one to defeat the other. But just the insanely fast Flash gets the edge, and I think the Flash is quicker than even one could try to focus and think to do harm to him. So Flash finds a way with his abilities to defeat Martian Manhunter.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do you hear that? Oh my God, is that Batman's music? It is. Interference. It's Batman. He's got his flashy slowy ray. Oh my God. Oh my God, he slowed the Flash. It's Batman with his Wayne Enterprises flashy slowy ray. By God. By God. The Flash has a family. Calm down. By God. What about that? Huh? What about interference? Are there rules?
Well,
are there rules that are going to be interference? Now what if Batman comes in with his flashy slowy ray? Now what?
Well, then the referee calls for the bell and disqualifies Frank Manhunter.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dean, you're the tiebreaker here.
Tiebreaker. Okay. If I could be serious for a moment.
No, not here.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. So here's the deal. What is to say that the Flash, because he is so fast, he can move time and space, correct?
Yeah.
So in theory, he's going to be able to see a lot of what Martian Manhunter is going to do before he does it.
You could make that argument.
So there's the advantage there. So he's gonna be able to counteract almost anything that Frank does because he's so fast and he can look through space and time, you know. And it's almost like he's, you know, everything else is in slow motion, right? So when Frank goes to,
I keep calling him Frank.
I don't know his real fucking name. It's not a real superhero. All right, it's
Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank.
It's like John Johns or something like that. So, anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, it's barely a fucking actual character. So, anyways, so the Flash has it on him, and he will beat him handedly with a, I don't know, he'll fist him. I don't know. He'll beat him somehow. The Flash wins.
Okay. By fisting, you mean, of course, the superpower fist.
The super flying fist.
Of course. What else would I mean?
Yeah. I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
just making sure.
Weird.
Okay. So does that mean, Nick, that the Flash is going on to the championship round?
That would mean that the Flash will be representing DC in the superhero bracket finals. That is correct.
Okay. I think that's pretty fair. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
We have a winner.
Very good. So this is a good time here, guys, before we get to the next bracket with the Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. Why don't we take a short break?
My drink's empty.
Yep. Refill, let you guys listen to this amazing spot. And we will be back.
Try to come back and not be
shortly.
Moist.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Martian Manhunter, rest in power, King.
That's right. That's right. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Four, three.
Welcome back to Convincing Idiots. So in our first segment, we were through our finals round, conference finals round, I guess. So we had the Flash defeating Martian Manhunter, the vote of 2-1. So Dean and I voted for the Flash. A tough battle.
Finally.
Yep. And on the other
Martian
brackets,
Manhunter.
That's right.
Down.
Yeah, finally. Yep, finally. To
I didn't
Dean's
think anyone
delight.
could do it.
Yeah. Yep. And then we happened to, as you explained it before the break, Nick, just happened to work out we have 2 DC on one side and 2 Marvel on the other side to get to the finals and face the Flash, right? That's who the winner of this bracket was?
Yeah.
Okay. And we have the Amazing Spider-Man versus the Master of the Mystic Arts, Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. So, yep. We all know, Spider-Man's powers. We have a pretty good idea about Doctor Strange. So, kind of a tough one for Spidey.
Yeah.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough.
My question here is, okay, so what got Spider-Man this far? Similar to the Flash.
Go ahead.
He's not as quick as the Flash, but what got him here was how quick he is. It's hard to land a punch on Spider-Man because he's so fast, the spider sense, all that stuff. And as you pointed out, as the stat man pointed out to us in previous episodes, he is very, very strong, like extremely strong.
Sure.
Because of his build and stuff like that, he's not given as much of that. He's not looked at like
he's wiry.
Yeah, like a Thor or a Hulk because he's a kid, but his strength, really, that his abilities give him are pretty impressive. So, my question for the strength, it could be a benefit here, but what I really want to know about Spider-Man is, how fast are we talking? How fast is he? Because as the other side of the bracket has shown us, that's pretty much the entire reason the Flash is in the finals. He is so fast that no one can lay a hand on him. And even though he might not be as powerful, over time, he can wear down opponents. He can build up enough momentum to hit them hard enough to beat them, things like that. So how fast is Spider-Man, and how does that compare to Doctor Strange?
Statman?
I mean, Spider-Man is not even in the, realm of super speedsters at all. I mean, he has very quick reflexes. Everything I can recall seeing of him in the comics, I mean, he's visible. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can see him, not a blur. He's just, people comment all the time. He's so fast, and so they could see him moving, but they can't get to him. But again, you could see him. He's not invisible. He doesn't move that quickly to where you can lose sight of him potentially. Certainly if there's, different elements of darkness or something like that, perhaps, I don't know, but obviously how can he control that? So yeah, but like I said, not anywhere in that realm too. So I feel like Doctor Strange he's certainly not going to lay a hand on him. I don't think Doctor Strange, not that it would matter anyway, because Doctor Strange doesn't have any super strength. He'd have to, it's basically down to,
he's not punching him.
No. So certainly it's down to the sorcery versus pretty powerful.
Web slinging.
Yeah, the webs and the fast reflexes, spider sense. Certainly Spider-Man might know that something's about to happen, but could he react to something so big against him that he could, avoid it? I don't know. So
I think it's a no-brainer that Spider-Man wins. In the category of the amount of movies that have been made about him.
Sure.
He's a winner. There's been way more Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man wins in that category.
That is correct.
And definitely of the amount of Spider-Man movies you've seen over Doctor Strange movies.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. If you take total Spider-Man content,
yes.
100%. Cartoons, movies.
Amount of people who have
TV
played
shows.
Spider-Man, there's more of them.
Right.
Than Doctor Strange.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I would love nothing more than to vote for Spider-Man because he is my favorite Marvel superhero. He may be my favorite. He's definitely one of my favorite superheroes ever. Definitely my favorite superhero character. But I just don't see a logical way that I can spin, if you will, a Spider-Man victory here. I just think there's too many things going against him. Not only, let's just take away all the superhero stuff. I mean, we've seen, after all, Spider-Man is just a kid, is Peter Parker. I think he would get easily flustered and overwhelmed against a sorcerer. I think the amount of abilities that Doctor Strange have over Spider-Man is probably pretty staggering. Like you said, Brian, he's not so fast that he just can get away from you that easily, especially against someone. I mean, if he's running from Hulk or Batman or Wolverine or something like that, sure. But going up against a sorcerer, if he were up against someone so powerful as, say, Martian Manhunter, the best of the best, he's not that fast. So I just can't think of a way to figure out how Spider-Man could win this. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to wild theories, but I can't come up with one.
Nicholas,
yes.
You're a chode.
It's an interesting theory, Dean. That's an interesting theory. I could subscribe to that. Yeah, I understand where you come up with that.
So you have Doctor Strange over Spidey.
I can't even make a case to try to drag this out or pull out a Spider-Man victory out of my ass. I think Doctor Strange.
Let me go next real quick because mine isn't long at all. I just got one point to prove, and I've been holding off on this point. And now, since this is the last Marvel versus Marvel matchup, right? I can bring this up. There is a reason the directors and writers of Civil War didn't include Doctor Strange. Because if they did, game over.
Too powerful.
Right. It's shooting fish in a barrel. Like what he could have done to everybody he was going against would have made for a boring scene. He just zap, doing what he needs to do. So yeah. Spider-Man, I think Nick said a lot there where I don't think I could add anything where Spider-Man is a beloved character, but when it comes to Doctor Strange and his sorcery and ability, I don't think he stands a chance. So,
yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, it's just too powerful, like you say. I mean, he could cast some type of a, Doctor Strange could protect himself, against anything Spider-Man could throw at him with webbing or punching or whatever it is. Can't touch him, and just his ability to be able to transport people alone. I just envision he could cast a big enough portal or something like that so fast, that Spider-Man just, he could just flip him to another dimension or something like that safely, and he's just out of the picture. Pretty.
Is that the equivalent
easily.
of a ring out or a disqualification? He's just like a count out, like he's gone from the battle island for too long.
It's just Doctor Strange could just. There's so many ways Doctor Strange could defeat Spider-Man. It's just Spider-Man might surprise him maybe for a second, like this guy's pretty fast. I thought I could do something, and he's faster than I thought. But I just don't think Doctor Strange would even allow Spider-Man to get even anywhere near him in any way, shape, or form. The only being up to this point that maybe could have beat Doctor Strange might have been, as we said before, someone with some type of mystical abilities or something some unusual power. So
Wanda Maximoff.
That's it. Yeah, and
would have been the closest one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we edged her out, as we said. Yep.
And possibly if she would have been in the tournament, Jean Grey.
Yeah, but again, but that's the point, right? So somebody with a mental, some type of psychic or supernatural type powers or something like that, perhaps would give Doctor Strange more of a run for his money. So there you have it. So we have a unanimous decision. I'm with you, Nick. Spider-Man. I have the same feelings you have with him. He's my favorite Marvel hero. One of my favorite superheroes in general, just every man and everything about him, and just a good kid and all that type of stuff. So, but too much, to overcome for Doctor Strange. So
sorry, Pete. That wasn't your day, man.
Yep. So now we have a pretty interesting matchup in the championship now.
We truly have the two very different versions of dynamic super abilities that have got us here.
Take even away the super abilities and what they can do. They are the people that are dealing with the multiverses of their respected universes.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. They're that powerful that you're right. With the alternate time, exactly what you just said. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so it'll be very, very interesting. And their next movies deal with those that same subject matter, right? So
I think this is fitting, and I think this worked out well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Very interesting.
That's it. I'm going. Go ahead.
I'm going to come in next week with or not next week. I don't think we're going to do this next week. But when we do the finals, I'm going to come in with this whole.
I thought you meant the podcast. I'm like, why aren't we doing the podcast?
Right.
I'm thinking, like, what's next week that we can't do the podcast?
I'm going to do a Michael Buffer introduction for both, I think.
Nice.
Very good. Very good. For a couple minutes, up to you guys.
Well, I mean, we get to take a couple minutes. I don't know if everybody saw speaking of the Marvel Universe,
mm-hmm.
the WandaVision got a re-edited ending. They didn't change it,
mm-hmm.
but a re-editing ending. So when the camera's panning down to what is it, Scovia? That's assumably where she's at, right?
Yeah.
But the cabin in the woods, nonetheless, where she's sitting there drinking tea on the porch, and her projected self is inside.
Mm-hmm.
But as that camera's panning in, you see some sort of portal thing opening above the cabin,
mm-hmm.
which is very reminiscent of Doctor Strange. So
it's like he's about to appear where she's at? Is that
right.
what it looked like, sort of?
And I think they added that probably because it was added to a scene in Madness of Multiverse of whatever, however the name of the movie is.
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of M's.
So they added it. There's a scene in the movie where he goes to her or something like that to tie it together, perhaps?
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Kind of like my theory on the Batman, why they were doing reshoots when they happened to be shooting this multiverse Spider-Man situation or Flash situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they have an opportunity to bleed and tie them together, so they're taking advantage.
Okay. Yeah, they've already said that movie, The Batman, is in a different world. Right. It's like another Earth.
Right.
In that universe. So you're right. So they're going to bring those Earths together in the Flashpoint or something like that. It'll be interesting.
That's my theory.
Okay. Is that
Pretty
scene in the video is that re-edited scene out there, or you have to go back and watch the original on Disney Plus to see it fully?
I just read the article. I have not yet gone back myself to see it.
Okay. I'm sure it's out there on YouTube or something. Someone put it out there, I would imagine.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, why not try to tie it together a little more firmly? Okay.
Right.
Cool. Think anything catch your eye in the world of pop culture?
Just
like
you two nerds, really. You guys are the only things that catch my eye.
I thought about you this weekend. I sent you a text that
thought about that's the only way he could have interacted with you, because he wasn't there.
I had to think about you from afar.
So on A&E. Last night was part 2. Sunday was part 1 of a 4-hour history of Kiss biography.
Now, is that okay? See, I was talking to somebody at work today, and they were telling me about it, and he said Kisstory, and I said, "Is it now, Brian? Are you familiar?"
That's too cheesy. They would never name it.
Well,
like
not only did they name it that, but they had a big leather-bound book that my dad had.
Sure.
Kisstory, the whole thing. Silver ends of the pages and everything. Oh yeah, it was nice. I remember the day that my dad brought that thing home. It was like, the Holy Grail. We were, wow, it was this big, massive book. It was very cool. But also, I don't know, maybe within the last 10, maybe it's been more years, but they released DVDs called Kisstory Volumes 1. There was Volume 2, Volume 3. They went through different phases of the band's history. Was it that, or was it a whole new thing? It's a whole different thing, right?
Well, they
probably cover a lot of the same stuff, because I mean, if you're going to do a history of Kiss, I'm sure a lot of the things that were in those DVDs and things like that, I mean, it's stuff that happened, so they're going to talk about it. But
I think that if I'm thinking of the same thing, I have some of those box sets as well. The DVD ones, they did like different concerts and specials and stuff like that in a certain my voice is cracking, sorry.
I think
I'm growing up so fast. That's right, growing up so fast. Anyway, yeah, so they did different, portions of Kiss's history in a box set. It was like concerts and TV specials and stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking of, those DVDs you might be thinking of. I'm
I
not
remember
sure.
one they covered, like they went to like a high school and put on a concert in the middle of a football field. You remember that? Like that
In Michigan, Cadillac,
yes.
Michigan.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. So
that
I remember
was
that
like
was
when
on
they
Volume
were,
1. They talked about that, and
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is something different then. Maybe it is something else that I'm not thinking of then. So
the only thing that I could add to this was the night that you text us in our group text.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Nick, it's on there. I'm sitting here in the chair. Megan's on the couch, and I'm like, I turned it on, to see what you guys are talking about. And she looks up at it, and I go, oh look, this is via the text. This is what Nick and Brian are watching right now. And she just looks at me like, who the fuck cares? Why are we watching this?
She doesn't appreciate Kiss.
See, now
I don't believe so.
That's the question, Bob. So that was the question I had at hand here. So first of all, I was very excited. Nick and I, of course, we talked about Kiss on our second episode, one of our first three.
Yeah, it was. Right. It was
okay.
That might have been our first night of at-home shows. We recorded, I think, 2 episodes the same night, and one of them was the Kiss one.
Yeah, we did the favorite horror movies, and I think we did Kiss in the same around Halloween last year. Yeah, still actually one of our higher rated episodes.
And if you go back in the archive, and this is probably the reason too, if you go back in the archive and you listen to that episode, don't be alarmed. My microphone didn't go out. I wasn't on mute.
It just had nothing to say.
I just had no fucking thing to say about it.
Yeah.
So you guys really like Kiss, eh? That's cool. All right. Cool.
That's neat. You mean they got paint on their feet? Neat. Okay.
Yeah, and that was the thing. So I was disappointed. I don't know. Did you watch any of that, first of all, Nick, the Kisstory?
I have not. No, I set it to record, but I haven't watched it yet. Okay. I did. I forgot about it until you texted, and then so I had to go back and set it to record the next time it was on. So
okay, and I'm sure it's out there on demand. I'm sure on the A&E app or whatever. But yeah, so if one thing that disappointed me, and this is not, you learn this very quickly and you watch the video, but it's almost immediately Peter, Chris, and Ace Frehley declined to participate and do not share the views of this story. Now, they did pull in actual interviews of Ace and Peter throughout the years to use their words.
Sure.
Right? Now, are they selective in what they're pulling? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it is Ace and Peter talking about their versions of the story, right? So, it kind of counters a little bit what Gene and Paul were saying.
Was it like in those interviews? Was it jerky and kind of like seemed robotic, like they were breaking up?
It took one word at a time and made them say what.
Gene Simmons was the greatest guy I've ever seen.
Yeah, not quite that bad, no. But if you, so Nick and I being fans throughout the years, we have probably heard the same story rehashed again and again.
Sure.
It is an interesting. What I like is the old days when you have any rock band when they're just starting out and they're hungry young kids and they're trying to make something happen and they work really hard and all their trials and tribulations and stuff like that. I like all that stuff. That's great. But it's like when they start to get popular, it's the same. I don't know. So if you've read any books and so let's put it this way. If you're a Kiss fan over the years, you're not going to hear anything any different than what you've heard
new
over and over again from Gene and Paul. There were some interesting, there were a couple of videos. There were some pictures that I don't recall seeing in the Kisstory book, which I mentioned I have as well, or other things. So that was kind of neat to see something new. And they're not completely bashing Ace and Peter, but they were very clear on the drug use.
I was to say they definitely had their. You could say what you want about Gene and Paul, and the way they market everything, and that they're obviously the two main members of the band, which they are, and everyone knows that. But there's no doubt that Ace and Peter had their struggles, and they couldn't have been easy to work with.
No.
Were Paul and Gene probably dicks about some things? I'm sure they were, but at the same time, they only ever had one goal in mind, and that was to put the whether or not you like the fact of calling their band a business or not, but they had a business first mentality. It was about the band, it was about the business of Kiss above all else, and they weren't going to put up with any bullshit. And I mean, who knows what could have happened to the band if they would have, you know, let a couple of guys bring them down. You know, I mean, you never know.
Yeah, it was interesting, and you know, there was an interview with Ace, and I agree with him. Like he said, you know, when they made The Elder, that concept album, which was, you know, like the
that was not my favorite Kiss album. It was weird.
Yeah. Like Bob Ezrin, that was cool too. They had the old producers on there too. So they had Bob Ezrin, they had I can't think of the guy's name, but it was famous producers on there who produced a lot of their albums and stuff like that. But yeah, he was like, it was a good album, but it's a good Kiss album. And Ace had said in another interview, if they would have went right to Creatures of the Night from the Dynasty and went to that instead, then actually it would have been Unmasked. Then it would have been that one to give it a harder. Maybe it would have things would have went differently. Ace might have stayed in the band, got his. Who the heck knows? Obviously, it didn't go that way. So I don't know. So, anyways, as a fan, even Nick, are you interested to go back and watch? Are you watching because you're a fan and that's it? You just want to see anything Kiss interesting?
Yeah,
check it out.
Those A&E biographies, right? Like a couple weeks ago, we've been watching the wrestling ones and stuff like that. I watched the Bret Hart one. I know everything about. I know all the Bret Hart stuff. I know everything. I read his book and watched it. He was my favorite as a kid. I still watched it because I wanted to. It's the same with Kiss. I mean, I've heard all the different stories, and I'm sure there's nothing new in there, but I'm going to watch it just to see, what it's about, and, I'll enjoy it either way. So just kind of interested. It's like, you were mentioning that there wasn't really anything new in that. I remember when they did, when Netflix did the Dirt film on Motley Crue. I've read the book of The Dirt, and I'm very familiar with the stories of the band. And upon watching it, I'm like, yeah, it was nothing, nothing you didn't know. And in fact, they left a lot out that I was surprised they didn't touch on. So, I'll still watch it just because mainly I'm a fan and I'll enjoy watching it either way.
Okay.
What's that, Dean?
Well, it's a topic at Jace, not exactly on topic, but have you guys seen pictures of Sebastian Stans as Tommy Lee in the new biopic?
Yes,
it is fucking uncanny.
It's a limited series.
Yeah, is it a limited series? Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it. I think we may talk about it on the show prior.
Incredible. Look up
he looks great as Tommy Lee.
Okay. That might have been before I was there. I don't remember talking about this.
Tommy and Pam, I think it's called, or something like that. It's like a limited comedy type series based on their story.
What, a comedy?
It's a limited comedy type. I think it's loosely based on their story with the sex tape got released and stuff like that. So I don't think it's an actual biography type thing. Like I said, I believe it's loosely based on it.
Where's it coming out from?
I can't remember. It's going to be on the streaming service.
Sure.
So, but yeah, and the woman that plays Pam Anderson looks fantastic. So
she does.
Yeah. So yeah,
I thought Machine Gun Kelly did a great job portraying him in The Dirt. I mean, just his vibe, the way Tommy is and stuff. And I thought especially as a young Tommy, I thought he did a great job. But interesting, I have to look that up. Absolutely.
All right, so let me ask you. So, did you flip that on A&E Kiss biography? Did you watch any more than 3 minutes of it? Are you just not interested? Something like that?
No. Were you bullied by Megan to turn it off?
I was bullied by Megan to turn it off.
Okay.
No, I've actually watched different A&E biographies on Gene Simmons. I'm fascinated by the band.
Okay.
I'm probably more fascinated by the story of the band than the band themselves. And again, I like Kiss. I'm just not fanatical about them like you two. I enjoy their music. Some of it is a little much for me and not my cup of tea, but they've got a few songs that I really enjoy.
Okay.
I enjoy the professional wrestling theatrics that comes along with it.
Sure.
That's up my wheelhouse. So
yeah.
And if Megan didn't seem like she didn't want to watch it, I probably would have, stuck around for a little bit. And I still might go back and watch it again.
Okay. All right.
Till Megan busts the door and goes, "What's this crap?"
That's right.
Grabs the remote out of your hand and turns it off. I said no.
And then hits me with a newspaper.
Yeah. I've seen her do that stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
Very intimidating.
So, Nikki, your dad's copy of Kisstory.
Yeah.
Do you know whose autographs are in it? Do you know? Which one did he get?
Oh, wow.
It's actually
I don't know.
It's Paul Anka.
Are
you would be really surprised that you'd think it was a Kiss member. No, Paul Anka.
Is it Bob Ezra, the producer? No, no, I didn't. Are they all? I thought, are they like actually autographed?
Yes. So it depends when you bought it. So I happened to buy my copy at the Kiss reunion concerts. So I have the original 4 actual autographs inside the cover.
See, I feel like, are they in silver?
It's like
silver.
It's like
on the front page.
Well,
like
you open
when you
it up. They actually
signed
them all in marker, so they're all pre-signed.
Is that right? I thought that was because I feel like he probably has the same one. I feel like I remember seeing the 4 signatures, but I thought to myself that in my head I'm thinking that's just like photocopied. You know, that's printed on the page.
These are
like
actual signatures. So
no
depending on where you buy it,
I'll have to ask him.
Because some people bought it, like my buddy Jim Cunningham bought his, but he has Gene Paul and Eric and Bruce, I think, Bruce Kulick at the time, right? Before they did the reunion show. So ask your dad which one he got. So,
Interesting.
I was, so is it worth it a little bit more? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't priced it, but it is a fascinating.
Now, Eric Singer he's the one that took over after Eric Carr. Is he's the one that's still touring with them in the cat makeup and Peter Chris's makeup? Okay.
Yep,
I always liked him. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I always liked that version of the band because when I was a kid, that's who was actively in the band. When I can, remember really starting to get in their music, it was with Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer. But I always enjoyed the albums they put out with the 4 of them. I thought that was good stuff.
Yeah, those lineups were in the band longer than the original 4.
Yeah,
both of those different lineups, actually. Okay, just curious. So that's he knows
what we're talking about. He gets it.
That's right.
100%.
He watched the documentary. He knows.
If you're a Kiss fan, definitely check out Kisstory. I mean, you won't hear anything new, but it's Gene and Paul talking. You hear see some great classic footage, great concert footage, some clips you haven't seen before, and photos. Like I said, they showed the first known photo of Kiss as a band, which I've never seen before. It was kind of a grainy photo somebody dug up somewhere. Paul gets out the original fractured mirror guitar that he had in the 70s and plays it a little bit, shows you points on it. It had actually blood on it from him cutting himself over the years playing it and stuff. So there's some really neat kind of footage like that. If you're a Fringe fan, you're like, this band is weird. I don't know the story. I'm kind of interested. Hey, 4 hours, check it out. You get a great history of the band from at least Gene and Paul's perspective. But kind of a neat thing, how they developed, how they got the makeup, how they became what they are. It's a pretty neat story. So we definitely recommend go check it out on A&E. So, all right, guys, that's about it. We're about an hour here. So, anything else, guys, before we wrap it up this week?
Think about covers it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, just looking forward to seeing your handsome faces again next week.
Yes, absolutely. And we've talked here, guys. We'll announce it and stuff, but we're gonna be doing another unannounced. Actually, I said we're going to announce it, but it's not going to be announced. We're going to do.
Is this you announcing that we're not going to announce something?
I'm going to announce that we're going to do an unannounced live show. We're going to do an unannounced live show, and we're not going to tell you. I'm telling you, it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, we could be fucking anywhere just doing one, and you won't even know.
That's right. We don't know if it's going to be on a normal. We normally shoot these on Tuesdays. Maybe we do. I don't know. So. Yeah, so if you like our page already, you'll obviously when we start doing this, it'll pop up for you to check us out. We're kind of planning it at a local Barberton establishment.
What's that in your coat closet? It's a secret Convincing Idiots impromptu podcast in your home.
What?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So look for this sometime over the summer. We're going to make this happen. So yeah, we'll just keep watching the page, and it'll pop up for you. We hope you enjoy it. So stay. But thanks for your support out there in the meantime. So that's all.
And then we could even, I mean, let's just, a brief glimpse, a brief mention in October will be our year anniversary.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And we will be doing something special for the year anniversary. And definitely stay tuned for that.
Big things happening.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
You will see Brian's. You'll see Brian's wang.
Can't wait.
I don't. I've said too much. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We can edit that out. We can edit that out. Don't worry about it.
This is me announcing that you will see Brian's wang completely unannounced.
Yeah.
Completely unannounced.
Right.
Uninvited and unannounced. There it is.
It's always uninvited. He's a never new. Yeah. He always wears jean shorts.
It's typically uninvited, so you just talk to Allie next time you see her. Is it usually invited? No, it's usually not invited. Yeah.
He showers with a rubber sock on
it. Yeah. It's constant. Poor woman. Yeah.
But the sock is like this big.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's the equivalent to the short car fake out. When you pull off the side.
That's right.
Oh, I thought I was going to park there, but there's a short car in there.
Yep. Let's just say he has never fallen on his face before. He's tipped forward a few times, never actually fallen on his face. That's all I'm saying, ladies.
Yeah, definitely in life, if you will, but not literally fallen.
Right.
Yes.
No,
yes,
literally.
Absolutely.
It's goddamn impossible.
Yeah. Impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, so tune in for that. All right. That's a good...
there went our Irish listener. He's gone.
That's right. Maybe not. Maybe he's like...
He only gone because he went outside to tell his friends, you got to come hear about the member on this fella.
That's right.
Yes,
yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so that's a good segue
to what?
Wrap it up.
That's a good segue to get us the fuck out of here.
Wrap it up.
All right. Well, so if you want more of this, and to hear more announcements and non-announcements alike, be sure to head over to our Convincing Idiots YouTube and Facebook page by searching Convincing Idiots in the search tabs on those respective websites. Please be sure to like and subscribe on those, all that good stuff. Also, while you're at it, go to our Twitter. That's at Convincing Idiot with no S. We are on Instagram at Convincing_idiots. On TikTok at Convincing Idiots. We can be reached via email. That's at convincingidiots@gmail.com. We're available wherever you listen to podcasts. Ask your Google or whatever brand, Amazon, whatever, home assistant device, all alike. Ask them to play the Convincing Idiots podcast. You can also go to our Convincing Idiots link tree. Just Google Convincing Idiots link tree, linktr.ee, and there you will find all of the things that I just wasted all this breath telling you. This has been another fun episode of Convincing Idiots. I am your millennial friend, Nicholas.
My name's Dean. I am the Zennial.
I'm Brian, Gen X.
Have we convinced you that Martian Manhunter got screwed?
I'm out of here.
That's a screw job! That's a damn screw job!